Let's get Josh on video fucking up an egg cracking. Hey, Josh here from BHat. We're back for another BHat at home video. Today we're going to be cooking up a truffle mac and cheese. This bad boy right here, this is called a truffle. Comes around every winter, it's amazing. Really accentuates any dish that you've got. As an apprentice in fine dining restaurants, we used to shave this all through pasta, for instance, or any dish, keeping it really simple, a lot of flavour. These bad boys here, they're about $3 to $4 a gram, which can get quite expensive. So we opt to use the truffle paste here, which is a much more affordable solution for you home cooks out there. Can achieve the same results with the same impact. So the first step of this recipe is cooking our bechamel sauce. So we've got some butter in the pan here. We want to have it on a medium to high heat, just to help melt it down nice and quick. Next in, we're going to chuck our flour and start to bring it all together. Start mixing your flour and your butter together until you get sort of some clumps here. We're just going to let it sort of sit there for a second. In making our bechamel sauce, the next step is adding in the milk. As you can see, it's getting nice and golden brown here, so we're going to start to add our first bit of milk, which will help bring it all together. We're going to continue to mix the mix. We've now dropped our heat to a nice low heat, as we don't want the mix to catch and burn. Milk is notorious for burning very quickly. We've just added the last of our milk, and we're going to use our whisk here to gently break up the last of the parts that are clumping together. This part here is where you really want to knock out all of those little clumps. Create a nice smooth consistency and let it simmer away for the next 5 to 10 minutes. Now, bechamel is quite versatile. You can also use it in sandwiches, croque monsieur, which is a nice lavering of the bechamel, cheese, and some ham. Toast that up. Oh, if you've got any left over, favourite, recommend highly. So as you can see here, we've been whisking over the heat for the last few minutes. We've got a nice consistency here. This is what we're after here, like you're looking for that sort of ribbony. So the next step in our truffle mac and cheese is grabbing our Parmesan. Parmesan's a semi-hard cheese from the Parmesan region in Italy. One of my favourite cheeses, amazing in pasta. Supermarkets, they have the packet stuff. I highly recommend buying the actual block. So we're going to grate up our cheese here. It's going to go in the mix with the bechamel. Just be very cautious of your fingers. I've actually taken off a nice portion of my knuckle once upon a time with one of these bad boys. Don't recommend. So we've got our bechamel here, nice and creamy. Next step in our recipe here is we're going to put in our truffle paste. Got that measured out already. Put it in, give it a nice mix. Next up, we've got our sauce here. We're coming across our board. We've got our mozzarella and our Parmesan. Now, this is going to reiterate the importance of having good quality mozzarella and a good quality Parmesan there. We're going to slide those straight into our pot. A little bit on the floor, clean that up later. The residual heat there is going to melt the cheese. The sauce has been quite warm. We're going to slowly start to work it all together. It's going to start to clump and form a nice big cheesy ball here. All this cheesy goodness with the truffle. Oh, if only you could smell it right now. Last little step before we put it aside is we're going to give it a taste. If you're not like me, you would have had your water boiling ready ahead. We're going to chuck our macaroni straight in the water. Cook it for roughly 7 minutes. Chuck the lid back on until it comes back to the boil. Just going to strain our pasta off here. So we're going to combine the two mixes here. Nice and gently pour it in there. We don't want to have any heat on the pot at this time. We're looking to incorporate all of this mix. As you can see, it's nice and stringy. The heat of the pasta's softening it all up once again. If you've got that special someone coming over for dinner and you really want to impress them, recommend buying the truffles. Worth the money. Now, you've got your mix here. You want to get your truffles and you want to grate them over there nice and gently. Now, if you want, ready to serve right now, but we're going to take it up a notch. Put it in the fridge and form it into patties a little bit later. Got our mix here, we're going to chuck it straight in the freezer to cool down nicely. Yeah, right. So while we're waiting for our patties to cool down and get nice and formed there, we're going to get our oil onto the heat. So we want to get our oil nice and hot here, we want to get it up to roughly 180 degrees. So if you don't have a thermometer at home, the best way to test if your oil is ready is to heat it up. You can sort of feel the heat around here, drop a bit of bread in, and if it bubbles, we're good to go. So our mix has been in here for about 15 minutes now. We're going to get it out, form it up into some nice patties, and then we're going to deep fry it away. Hey Yoda. Now the best way to shape these up is with an egg ring. We're going to spoon some of the mix in, use the back of our spoon to compress it down. We want to go to about 1 centimetre in thickness all around. Now if it's too thick, you're not going to be able to get that nice melt and ooziness of the cheese once you've deep fried these bad boys. So once we've got it all nicely formed, we're going to take off the ring. We're going to gently place it into the flour. Make sure we give it a nice coating here. Now it's time to get your hands dirty. Dust it off a touch. And you want to put it straight into your egg. Give it a little swirl around, get it all nicely evenly coated. So now we're going to bring our panko crumbs here. We're going to gently lift this out, making sure we've got enough egg mix on. Drop it into the crumbs, and very gently toss the crumbs over it. You want to make sure that it's all evenly coated. It's very delicate. And there we go. Just going to take the patties over now. I'm just going to gently place it inside our oil. So we're going to place it in the oil now. Going to give it a good little mix around just to free it up off the bottom. We want it in here for about 1 minute to 1:30, or until it's nice and golden brown. So once it's nice and golden brown, ready to come out, drain a bit of the oil off. We've got some paper towel on the plate here to help that as well. Bring it over to our bench now. Nice slashing of salt on there. I'm going to rip it apart and see all the ooziness. Look at all that truffle cheese goodness. Oh, so it's nice and golden. The cheese is all oozy. Oh, the smell of fresh truffle. So there we go guys, our truffle mac and cheese patties. Don't forget to try it. Take a picture, have a crack, and tag us at BHatHOME. Do you like truffle? Is truffle good? Is truffle good? See it? Is truffle good? Arr.